Hi there. We're going to take a look at the week 3 vocabulary. As we've said before, vocabulary is so important that we understand what the words mean because then we're going to be able to make decisions on, well, we'll have a deeper understanding of the concepts for this week. So let's dive right in. Now, if you wanted a copy of this document, I definitely will link it below and you can download a copy and follow along. But you don't have to have it. You can take notes on your own as we look at the words that in the vocabulary for this week. So let's jump right in. So intuition is based on feelings. So this week is all about feelings versus data. How do we make a good decision? If we're going to make a good decision, we're going to have to use both strategies. Got to use both strategies. And we got to make sure that they're sound strategies. So we shouldn't make a decision on feelings alone. We shouldn't make a decision on data alone. We want to make a decision together. So we want to not neglect one part or the other. We want to look at both parts and to make a good sound decision. Number 3, you know your business best. Only you know your business best. That's why you're the only one who can make the decisions for your business. So, how do you do that? Well, we're going to look at it this week. And so, how do we make the best decision possible for our business? But realize you're the only one who can make it because you're the only one who knows your business. In our discussion this week, we'll talk a little bit about Henry Ford, but Steve Jobs is another example. When he launched the iPad, he did that solely on intuition and it paid off. So his intuition paid off. He went on a gut feeling and it worked. Now, does it work all the time? No. That's why we want to combine our strategies with feelings and data, right? We want to have all of that going together so that we can make the best decision possible. Now, if you've ever played Texas Hold'em poker, it's a game that relies on intuition and strategies. So it's a great example of a time when we have to combine both so that we can make a good decision. Otherwise, we don't win, right? Number 6 is one I think we fall into a lot. I know I personally do. And that is case studies can rarely be applied to a different company. So that means that just because it worked for Steve Jobs on his intuition, that doesn't mean it's going to work in our business because we can't take a case study. That's a one specific example, and we can't say that's going to happen all the time. So instead, we have to go with good sound strategies that work all the time. And the first step to making a good decision requires that we identify the issue that needs to be settled. So, first, before you can ever make a good decision, you've got to identify where the problem is, right? So, if the problem in our business is shipping, we've got to identify shipping's the problem, and we need to make a good decision about it so that we can move forward and make it better. Now, number 8, price setting. Price setting is determining how much to charge for a product or a service. It's easy, not easy to determine what the price should be, but we can use some strategies to help us to set our prices well so that we don't go broke, right? And we make a good profit for the product or service that we're providing. Because research shows us the main factor, the number one factor in customer purchase is price. Customers are most motivated by price. They're most going to make their decision on whether they're going to buy a product or not based on how it is priced. And the first thing we have to do in price setting is to identify the objective of the business. Like, what is it we're trying to do with the business? What's the purpose? So, just a few more. The next one I want to look at is a type of pricing, and that's called premium pricing. Premium pricing is based on the perception of value and generally demands a higher price. We're going to have a great discussion this week about Burberry and how they price their items to give this air that they are a luxury brand. Does it work? Well, we'll discuss that in the discussion this week, but it is definitely a strategy. So number 12, pricing for penetration is used to entice customers. It's used to bring customers in, trying to allure them to our business and to look at the products that we have. The next strategy we look at is called psychological pricing. Psychological pricing appeals to a customer's emotions rather than their intellect, right? So we're trying to move past the brain and get to the emotions to have them make a decision. Number 14, supply and demand determines the balance of goods and services versus a customer's needs. Almost seems like number 15 is a no brainer, but to achieve a profit, proper pricing is necessary. If we don't price well, then if we price too low, we will miss out on profit, right? We potentially could be underselling ourselves. And so we don't make enough to cover our overhead or to cover our expenses, to cover our labor. If we price too high, then customers don't purchase. We don't even have revenue coming in. And now we have to eat all of the cost of making the product, right? Or the cost of doing business. And our last one is consumer behavior studies. Consumer behavior studies look at all aspects of a purchase. So they're looking at how is the customer motivated? What does the pricing look like? What does the product location look like? How does it all go together as a purchase is made? So I hope this helps you with our vocabulary for this week. It definitely is a week that you really want to focus on what do the words mean so that you can do well, not only on the assessment, but some of the other pieces for this week. So I hope this session has helped. If you have further questions, you want to leave a comment below, I'd be glad to answer those. Have a nice day.